In this lesson today, we will look at the 8th grade science STAAR formula chart and how to incorporate these formulas in a very simple way to find answers that you will be looking for on our science test at the end of the year and also tests throughout the year. In science this year, you're only required to use 4 formulas. Each of these are very simple formulas. There are 3 variable equations. And you also need to remember that these equations are available to you on every test you take, including the STAAR test. You will have a formula chart with the formula right there. All you have to do is decide which formula you need by looking at the information that is given to you in the question and determining what you have given and what you need to, which formula you need to use in order to find your answer. The 4 formulas are work equals force times distance, speed equals distance divided by time, force equals mass times acceleration, and density equals mass divided by volume. Now I'm going to show you a simple way to use these formulas to find any of the variables in each of the formulas, given 2 pieces of information and finding the third. So the first equation that we're going to look at is work equals force times distance. Very simple. If you're given force and distance, you would simply multiply to find work. But what if you were given work and say distance and you were asked to find the force? Well, I'm going to show you a simple way to find any of the variables in the equation. Let's imagine that we're given work is 500 joules, and let's say we have a distance of 50 meters. Well, there is what is called a triangular method. You simply draw a triangle, split that triangle like that, where you have a line across the middle and then one down at the bottom. You know that when you have 2 numbers to multiply, they're simply side by side, and when you have numbers to divide, you have one over the other. So if we were to put work here and then force and then distance here, that would work equals force times distance. Okay, so let's plug our numbers in to that simple triangle. We're given work is 500 and we're given distance is 50. All we need to do now is to divide 500 by 50, and that will give us a force of 10 newtons. All right, and we could turn that around and we could divide, if we were given work and we were given force and we were asked to find distance, we could simply plug those 2 numbers in as well, and 10 into 500 would be 50 meters. So it's a very simple way to solve any of the equations that we have. So now let's look at another formula. Speed equals distance divided by time. Again, if we build our triangle, we were looking for speed, but we know that distance is divided by time, so we would put speed right here. Now, if we were given 2 things, like if we were given the speed, say as 50 kilometers per hour, and the time was 3 hours, we draw our triangle, and Our speed, which is right here, would be 50. Our time would be 3 hours. If we multiply those two numbers, 3 times 50 is 150. And so we would have 150 kilometers per hour. The only thing you have to remember is you have to put the right variable in the right position, and anything that's being divided into is going to go at the top, and then the very next thing that there is, like speed, will go in the left side of the triangle, and then the other variable will go into the right side of the triangle. So as long as you have those things in the correct place in the triangle, you will always get the correct answer when using this system. So now let's look at our third formula, force equals mass times acceleration. First, let's set up our triangle. Same plan. We're going to go the same way every time with this. We have force equals mass times acceleration, so mass times acceleration, and that would put force at the top. All right. What if we were given that we had a force of 10 newtons and we had a mass of 5 kilograms? We needed to find the acceleration. Again, we draw our triangle out. Our force is 10. Our mass is 5. 10 divided by 5 would give us a acceleration of 2 meters per second per second. Very simple way to solve these very simple equations. So let's take a look at our last formula, density equals mass divided by volume. Again, we set up our triangle. We have a multiplication problem, we have a division problem now. We have mass over volume, and we would be looking for the density generally. But what if we were given a density of 25 grams per cubic centimeter, and we were given a volume of 4 cubic centimeters? So, again, we simply plug our information that we have into our triangle. We have a density of 25. We have a volume of 4. So we multiply 4 times 25, and that would give us a mass of 100 grams. It's a very simple way to solve any of the equations that you will have to use this year. One thing, though, that you need to remember, they're not only testing your ability to use these formulas, but they are also testing your critical thinking skills. So you need to read the questions very carefully, because quite often they will give you more information than you need to solve the problem. And sometimes they will also give you information that you will need beyond just using the equation. For example, if you were looking for the acceleration of an object, they might tell you the mass of one vehicle is, say, 100 kilograms, but there are 3 vehicles. So you really have to think and reason, and the best way to do that is to use a highlighter and highlight the important parts of the question, the information that you need, and leave out the information that you don't need. And if you will do these things, you will be successful in solving these formulas.